If you've sailed with P&O Cruises before and you're wondering whether to try something different, maybe even Royal Caribbean, you're not alone. They both sail from Southampton, but the experience on board couldn't be more different. So in this video, I'll break down exactly what you get for your money, from the price and dining to entertainment, itineraries, and how family-friendly they really are, to help you decide if Royal Caribbean is the right fit for you, or if P&O still makes more sense. Let's start with price, because that's where the biggest difference really shows. P&O Cruises offer far better value for money, especially if you're sailing from the UK. What you see at the time of booking is what you'll actually pay. There are no hidden extras. Things like tips and gratuities are already included in your fare. That's a big deal, because on Royal Caribbean, daily gratuities are automatically added to your onboard account, which can easily add up. $21 per guest per day is applied to guests' onboard account if you are staying in a suite, and $18.50 per guest per day will be applied to guests sailing in all other stateroom categories. And when you actually start comparing similar cruises side by side, that's when the difference really hits you. For June 2026, a 14-night Western Mediterranean cruise on P&O Avia from Southampton starts at around £1,017 per person. A similar cruise on Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas in late June 2026, a 9-night Spanish itinerary, comes in at around £942 per person. But that's 5 nights shorter and doesn't include gratuities. And once you've added those, the price difference grows quickly. So while Royal Caribbean gives you those huge resort-style ships and all the bells and whistles, P&O Cruises deliver a much more inclusive, budget-friendly experience where you can plan your holiday knowing exactly what it's going to cost before you step on board. Food is a really interesting comparison, because both lines do it well, but in very different ways. Royal Caribbean has that big American resort feel. On Independence of the Seas, the following dining options are included in your cruise fare. You've got the Windjammer Buffet, main dining room, Sorrento's Pizza, Cafe Promenade, and fish and chips to choose from. But that's roughly where it stops, unless you start paying for specialty dining. They've got some great specialty dining options, including Izumi Hibachi, Chops Grill, Giovanni's Table, and Johnny Rockets, but they all come with a supplement. On P&O Avia, the range of included venues is actually much wider. You've got the main dining rooms, Olive Grove, 6th Street Diner. You have also got the Keys, which includes 3 dining options: hook, line and vinegar, roast carvery, and Asian fusion, plus Taste 360 in the Sky Dome and the Horizon Buffet. Then there's specialty dining: Sindhu, the Epicurean, the Beach House, Limelight Club, Green & Co., Keel & Cow, and the Glass House. So while Royal Caribbean may edge it in taste, variety, presentation, and that polished American service, P&O's newer ships like Avia and Iona actually offer more included dining choice and specialty restaurants compared to the Independence of the Seas. If you want a closer look at the food on board, I've covered both in detail. My Avia dining options video for P&O and my Independence dining review for Royal Caribbean are both linked below and in the end screen. When it comes to entertainment and onboard activities, this is where the two lines really start to feel different. Royal Caribbean is all about energy and variety. There's something happening every hour: live music in every bar, game shows, poolside parties, and full-scale Broadway productions. On Independence of the Seas, they were performing Grease in the main theatre, and the production value was incredible. For families, Royal Caribbean wins hands down. You've got the Flow Rider surf simulator, water slides, Splashaway Bay, and rock climbing walls. It's a proper resort at sea, and you could easily spend a whole sea day just moving from one activity to the next. P&O Cruises, on the other hand, have less things to do on board. There are plenty of pools on all the ships, and things like the Skywalk on Avia, but not water slides or Flow Rider. However, the Sky Dome on Avia and Iona really helps when the weather turns. It's perfect for sea days when it's too cold or windy to be outside. The entertainment on P&O also feels more traditionally British. They have live bands, comedy acts, theatre shows, and quizzes on all of the ships. But the standard of the theatre shows on P&O is not as good as Royal Caribbean. There's still plenty going on, but the vibe is more relaxed. One thing P&O still does beautifully, though, is formal night. Even on Avia and Iona, you can feel that sense of occasion. People dress up, the atrium feels alive, and the main dining rooms are that bit more special. Royal Caribbean has formal nights too, but they don't quite have the same atmosphere. Then there's Itineraries, and this is where P&O Cruises really pull ahead. They've got a much larger UK-based fleet, which means far more choice if you prefer sailing from Southampton, covering everything from short breaks and Norwegian fjords to 2-week Mediterranean voyages, transatlantic crossings, and even world cruises. When I filmed this shot of Britannia sailing away from Southampton while I was on board Independence of the Seas, it really struck me how different the two experiences are, yet both set off from the same port. Britannia has always been one of my favorite ships. There's something about her that just feels classic and familiar, and that's exactly what so many people love about P&O. Royal Caribbean, by contrast, base only one ship at a time in Southampton, Independence of the Seas in 2025 and Liberty of the Seas in 2026. Most itineraries are between 2 and 9 nights, and you'll often see the same Western Europe routes repeated. If you want longer, more varied sailings, P&O Cruises are the clear winner. You can sail year-round without flying and still explore a huge range of destinations. So can you really compare Royal Caribbean and P&O Cruises? Well, not directly. The interesting thing is, on paper, Royal Caribbean should win this comparison, hands down. The ships are flashier, the entertainment bigger, but there are still things that P&O do so well. And that's why I still find myself coming back to them. They offer great value, familiar touches, and itineraries that just make sense for UK travelers. Royal Caribbean is resort style, packed with entertainment, energy, and that big American atmosphere. P&O Cruises, on the other hand, feel calmer, more traditional, and brilliantly British. It really comes down to what kind of holiday you want. If you love big shows, family activities, and that lively onboard energy, go Royal. But if you'd rather enjoy a calm sea day, traditional dining, and that familiar sense of home comfort, go P&O. And honestly, I think it's good to try both. I enjoy mixing it up and experiencing what each cruise line does differently, but I always find myself coming back and booking another P&O cruise in the end. There's just something about it that feels right. What about you? Have you tried both lines? Or do you always sail with one favorite? I'd love to know in the comments below. If you want a closer look at the food on board, my Avia dining options video is linked right here. But if you're still deciding which P&O ship is right for you, that's the next video you'll want to watch. It's also linked on screen now.